Guys, FilthyRobot here, continuing our campaign with Arumba for EU4. We've had, I believe, 2 ticks. We're going for a 3rd tick really rapidly. Is this too fast, Arumba? Do we need to slow down?
We're playing on speed 2, which is very slow, but I'm wanting to make sure that pop-ups don't freak you out and that we don't miss anything important here.
There are a lot of pop-ups.
So we're going to play on speed 2 for a little bit. We'll probably end up speeding up to speed 3. Notice how, okay, that's an interesting thing there. See how England, adjacent to our navy, southern coast of England, they've got 11 troops in Cornwall, 1 troop in Somerset, 1 troop in Hampshire.
So what interface are you watching on? You're watching on W interface?
Yes. W is your home. W is where you almost always want to go to
and
when you're not using something else.
How zoomed in are you watching?
It doesn't matter. You can see it from anywhere pretty much. But,
yeah, I do see those. I do see those troops.
Notice how we talked in the last episode about the difference between the little morale bar. See that army in Somerset?
Yeah.
It's got a green and then red.
Yeah.
That's showing you it's roughly that army is at roughly half morale.
Why doesn't it show yellow as like ours does, which is at half morale?
Yellow is where they're at their maximum, but their maximum is not actually the true maximum that it could be.
I see. So this is a reduced morale for some reason.
Yes. This means that his morale is not set to 0, right? His maintenance is not set to 0, and this new troop is going to recover morale at some point in the near future. So what's interesting about this, the reason why I'm mentioning, is that he's training men, which means he's gearing up for war most likely, or he's just building up to his force limit.
So these are new armies because they're not at their morale. Because he has it set to get to full morale, but they don't start at full morale when they're trained.
That's correct. Yep.
Got it.
They come in with reduced morale, and he's sending them toward his other army in Cornwall. My guess is that he's training up for preparation either to offset the French army or to potentially attack France for his corps.
I was going to say, Cornwall's pretty far from us.
Yeah, he's not gearing up on our borders or anything.
We have no sight. So should we consider like getting like maybe 1 or 2 very small naval units in like into the ocean regions of like Tyne or Dogger Bank just to see his troop movements? We
could do that. There's an advantage and disadvantage to doing that. Real quick, briefly, let's just mention that if you look at our borders between Scotland and England, we can see 1 province in due to adjacency. So we do have vision on Northumberland and Cumbria, but you're asking to see more land. The answer is yes.
I mean, just The
answer is yes, we could do it. Here's the risk. We know England has a much stronger navy than we do. If they declare war on us, they will instantly annihilate any ships we have just sitting in the Irish Sea or Dogger Bank or Tyne.
Okay.
So do you feel that having more vision is a worthwhile risk? If you're going to risk losing a ship?
I wasn't suggesting moving in like a full like lot of units there. Like, do we have some like? I mean, I noticed there's ship sizes. What if we put like 1 like guy in a rowboat or something?
Well, the ships that we have available, we've got 9 light ships and 9 transports. We just left the transports with the light because we wanted to keep our entire navy together, so that if we end up at war, hopefully the transports will help soak some shots and keep the light ships from getting sunk. But yeah,
I don't know the resource investment in each of these comparatively. What is our cheapest resource investment naval unit?
It's the transports, 10 ducats.
Okay, and it's 10 ducats for a one-time. What's the maintenance on that?
I
can find this again.
F1 comma.
Okay.
Hover over.
Same screen I was before.
Yep. Yeah, the early Carrack is heavy ships. Barks are light ships. Galleys are inland seas. They're tiny little ships designed for combat in the inland seas, not in the open ocean. And then cogs are our transports. And apparently I was mistaken, they actually cost 12 ducats to hire those, 20 ducats for the barks, 10 ducats for galleys.
Okay, so we could get 1 galley pretty cheap. Well, I mean, the cost itself, 10 out of 50 is not pretty cheap. That's a big chunk of our treasury, but very, very, very little upkeep per month. And we could just stick it over there and get some sense of troop movements.
Yes, but if you only have a single navy in a tile and it gets engaged by a force that's over 10 times its size, it will get overrun and it will just die instantly with no chance of surviving.
Yeah, are we so concerned about a single galley that is a problem?
10 ducats is probably better spent on an infantry or on, 10 months of advisors. What you're saying is the opportunity cost of investing in a scout here is not really worth it relative to what else we could do with this gold for whatever reasons, and we're not totally clear on those reasons yet. Yeah, like if you really wanted to do that, here's what I would do. Let's wait till our navy is in the next sea tile because it's locked right now. We can't interact with it. Now that's in the next sea tile.
Split off a transport.
Let's just grab all of the transports. Right? We're going to go ahead and just grab all these transports. We're going to right-click on where it says transport and pull those guys off. Transports...
Let me show me where you're doing that. So I don't see our navy anymore. Our navy seems to have disappeared off the map for me.
Okay. They shouldn't have. They're down in...
they're way down.
The coast of Brittany.
Got it. Okay.
Yep. So what I did there is I've just recombined them. Select that navy.
Yeah.
You see in the top left corner, we've got heavy ship 0, light ship 9, galley 0. Right-click where it says transport, and that will detach all units of that type.
I don't actually see transport. I see the 4 types. I see the big ship, the slightly smaller ship, and then 2 smaller ships. I assume the transport is the far right one.
Yep. If you hover over it.
When I right-click it doesn't do anything for me.
Okay, that's because you're clicking. You go even higher up. Right where it says no leader, there's another set of ships that are smaller.
Right where it says no leader. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, got it.
That's the one you have to right-click on.
Okay.
So we've detached the transports. If you want to scout, we should just scout with all 9 transports together.
And is this because there's some sort of like retreat option that is going to occur when we have 9? Okay, so that's the missing component. Because if we're going to, risking 1 as opposed to risking 9 seems much better to risk 1. But if you're saying we can actually get them all the way even after they get scouted, after they get engaged, okay.
1 will die for sure, 9 might survive. It just depends. So we would rather just keep them together, which is again why we kept the transports with the light fleet if we weren't going to use them for scouting.
I'm concerned about it. So we don't need to do that just because that was a suggestion. I was kind of asking along the lines of like what would be.
Yes, it can be done. It's interesting. It'll give us something to look at while we're letting the game run. So let's go ahead and we'll park the Navy up in Dogger Bank and just kind of spy on the English, see what kind of nasty, dastardly plans they're coming up with.
Yeah.
So he's still got his 14k troops in his capital of London. He's got 13k troops over on the west coast of Cornwall. And
what's that 27k army that's over? No, okay.
Where at?
It was in the Irish Sea. There was like 27 over there for a minute, but I don't know if it was 27k or just 27. So why? It's kind of weird that the naval stuff is done in the land stuff is done in thousands, and the Navy stuff is just done in single ships.
Yes. Well, it's because of the way that manpower is calculated.
Okay.
You know, just is what it is. It's 27 ships is what you saw, not 27,000 troops.
Okay.
So basically what we're waiting on right now is we want to get a secure and actual proper alliance with France. Again, France is guaranteeing our independence. They're saying no one can attack Scotland because we like Scotland. But they're not willing to help us with any offensive wars. So we need to actually become allies so that we can have somebody to help us out. Did you get a pop-up about the Ottomans?
Yeah, I was just looking now. So it's kind of far away in the world from us.
Yep. Ottomans are set to special interest because they're a large nation, and all war declarations are something you're going to get pop-ups. So I was actually wrong. Ottomans are not special interest, but all war pop-ups are something you're going to hear about. So Ottomans have attacked Albania. They're trying to take back one of their cores.
Got it.
Historically, the Ottomans kicked the crap out of everyone in the entire game. So just be ready for that.
Okay.
Notice how in the top right corner in the ledger, or the outliner, we're now up to plus 49 opinion with France, plus 45 with Castile. We have 6.76 spy network strength against England.
Okay.
So these guys have been doing stuff for us on the monthly tick. Let's go ahead and for now.
How do I see how many monthly ticks we've accomplished?
Well, you just have to remember that we started in November of 1444.
Okay. Got it.
So yeah, it's been like 4, 5.
So we're pretty passive now. We assigned all that stuff at the beginning, and now we're kind of just letting it run.
Yes, we're waiting for an opportunity to get an ally. We're too weak to actually attack England on our own. We could try to go for one of these little tiny guys. If you want to go for Tyrone or something, we could actually try to attack one province minor. That would be an option.
Let me just think about that for a half second. I just wanted to look at the economy tab again and take just a quick look at what the spoils of war is doing for us. It's 0.4 per turn. And what was... I guess I want to know how many... That number that it's giving us, 0.4 per turn, is that based on the number of ships we have doing this?
Yes. Each light ship provides trade power. Depending on the class and the technology used to build the light ship. In this case, at the beginning of the game, a bark provides 2 trade power. So we have 9 ships providing 2 trade power each. That's 18 trade power that's just been assigned to the English Channel. And that is being compared against all of the trade power in the node. And then the percentage of trade power in the entire node that we have is the share we get in loot. So basically, we're taking some of the money from the English Channel. We have 7% of the trade power in the English Channel right now. So we get 7% of the money.
All right. Too complex for me to figure out then easily, like how much we gain by adding single privateers to that, if it was worth training more or not. But okay, I like the idea of going. I would like to see how the combat works, and the idea of invading someone sounds nice to me.
We could train more ships, and it's almost always going to be a good endeavor to do so. However, the big issue for us facing England right now is that if we lose the land war, it's pretty much game over.
Okay.
We're never going to win the naval war, not until we've beaten the snot out of England for a couple dozen years. So if we commit our finances towards ships, he's going to still trounce us in the naval department. If we commit our finances towards land, we might be able to win on the land, and that's our goal.
All right.
In the meantime, yeah, we should consider improving or either securing some alliances with these little Irish miners or trying to attack them. So I'll let you decide.
Let's work on that. Well, I feel, again, like I'm not big on making friends with these guys, especially since a lot of them are friends with England. Perhaps we just remove one of them?
Yep. All right, well, let's make it easy for ourselves then. Let's use some of what we have available to us called relationship slots. If you right-click on our country, you can see to the right of our king's name, we have 0 out of 4 diplomatic relations, meaning that you can have up to 4 actual relationships based on our current things, and we're using none of them. So this is another resource we're not spending. So we should at least secure some allies, even if we don't plan on keeping them for long.
Okay.
So right-click on Tyrone, for example.
Right-click on Tyrone. Got it.
Okay. And let's take a look at his enemies. We've got Kildare, Ulster, and Clan Ricard. These are his enemies. These are the people who have rivaled him. That makes them natural allies for us. Let's go ahead and see if any of these are potential people we could become friends with. So
and
Clan...
can I right-click on... Oh, I can right-click and then go to capital to see where they are, huh? Okay.
Or you could just left-click, and it'll go you straight to their diplomacy screen.
Yeah, I was trying to get centered on where they were in the map.
Oh, yep. That's how you would do that. Yep, you right-click from that interface, and you can go to capital. So Clan Ricard would actually accept an alliance straight up, or one reason for acceptance. So we could just ally somebody who hates Tyrone. The risk in doing that is that because he hates him, he's going to want that guy's land too. So, you know, if we were to declare war on Tyrone and he were the first to arrive, he would actually end up getting control of the province, and he would probably peace out and take the province for himself. So
this is not what we want.
No, we don't really want them to be adjacent and have a vested interest in killing the target. So in this case, we might actually not want to ally the people who've directly got him as enemies. We might want to just ally some other little one-province miners over there. So like Thomond, for example. They have not rivaled Tyrone. And one other thing you can do here, without going too deep and getting too complicated, go ahead and right-click on, say, Desmond, the very southern tip of Ireland.
Okay, am I on the wrong? I don't see Desmond, so I'm probably on the wrong friggin'.
It says Cork. The name of the province is Cork, but the country itself is Desmond.
Okay.
Okay, so you found it?
Yeah.
You're on their diplomacy screen. Press the D key. That'll show diplomatic feedback. So this is an indicator for what they want. So Desmond, do you see red Limerick, red Kildare, and red Leinster?
No, I think I'm screen removed again. So I'm on the diplomacy screen with them. And I'm selected Desmond. I can see their enemies and their rivals. And where do I go from here?
Press the D key. Did that open up the diplomatic feedback? There's 3 tabs to the right. One was for diplomatic actions, one's for show opinions, and one's for diplomatic feedback.
Not that I see. Is there something I can click to do that?
I guess best thing I could do is just try to... Okay, let's do this. Right-click on England. We'll just start fresh.
Okay. Back out entirely. Right-clicked on England.
Yeah, and you see like the, declare war, alliance actions, influence actions, all that stuff?
Don't see. I'm on the diplomacy screen. I don't see a declare war. Where would I see that?
Okay, so what do you see?
I see... Okay, remember the F1? I think it's F1, and then it brings up the diplomacy tab, which I think is shortcut 3 right now. That's what I see. So I see England highlighted in green, and I see the F1-3 menu for diplomacy.
Yeah, and you don't see like the declare war, alliance actions, influence actions drop down that we've interacted with before for improved relations and...
No, I'm probably... I'm on the diplomatic... Okay, I was actually on the diplomatic feedback screen. Okay, so there's 3 tabs at the top of that. Okay,
yes.
I see. And okay, the third one. Okay, I guess I was there and I wasn't realizing I was there. All right, so we'll go back to Desmond.
Yep.
And I'm there now. I'm on Desmond diplomacy and the diplomatic feedback. Got it.
Yes. And now can you see Desmond's green and there's red?
Desmond's green and there's red. There's 3 red around them. Yep.
Yes, that is exactly what we're trying to look at. So basically, Desmond has indicated as an AI that this is a land that they consider to be of vital interest and they're going to try to expand into it.
Okay.
So all we're trying to do now is that now that we have this diplomatic feedback screen open, if you right-click on nations, we want to make sure that the person we choose as an ally isn't interested in conquering Tyrone.
Got it.
Because if they are, then they're going to compete with us for it, and it's going to be bad. Gotcha?
Okay. Yep.
So like Kildare has Tyrone set to red.
Yeah, because they want...
Sligo, or Sligo, they consider it to be of strategic utility. It's yellow, but they don't actually plan to expand into it.
Okay.
So we could ally really any of these countries in here. Leinster would be a good choice. Cork would be a good choice. Limerick would be a good choice, or Sligo.
Okay. Is there any way to determine between those which of those we care more about? I mean, I guess I can see all the ones that don't care about Tyrone. Besides that, how are we narrowing this down?
You could do the same thing we did with the whole French Burgundy Castile thing, where you try to like look at their alliance web and see like, you know, how many of these can I pick up without pissing off the others. But they're just one province miners. They have a single province to their name. We don't really care about them too much, and they're temporary alliances. So let's we're gonna bring back our diplomat from Castile. To do that, in the outliner, top right corner, I just did it, but you would right click on it, and it would bring the diplomat back.
Okay.
Or you could right-click on Castile proper, and actually where you went to improve relations, there's now a button to stop relation improvement. So like right-click on France, and you can see it. It's a lot easier just to use the outliner, though. So we're going to bring that diplomat back. Let's wait 16 days once he's home. Again, we talked a couple episodes ago about how there's that recovery time on the diplomats. Got to wait for him to come home. England is a great power. They've decided to influence Leinster. So they're trying to vassalize Leinster, most likely. Great powers.
So what if you get them to ally Leinster to piss off, to make them less amiable to England?
Not really. We can't directly affect Leinster's opinion of England. England is going to improve relations with Leinster. They've already allied Leinster. They're going to try to get him up to 190 opinions so that he can offer vassalization. Just offer to become his overlord, and Leinster's probably going to accept. So we can't really compete with that. We really want to do
a different one then.
Yeah, we can't compete with that. So let's not choose Leinster. Let's go for
Cork.
Let's see. Cork has rivaled Kildare. We don't want Kildare. Ulster, Thomond.
Well, I like the thing that Cork, when I clicked on them, they want Leinster's land. So if England does go through with that strategy of vassalizing that, I assume they're still going to want that land.
Yep. So let's go ahead and pick up our first alliance. Go ahead and ally Desmond, the province of Cork.
Okay.
He's willing to accept by one reason.
Okay, so I'm on the diplomacy tab. I'm now on the show diplomatic feedback. Do I need to go back to the show diplomatic actions and offer alliance? Got it.
Which is the A key if you want to use shortcuts. ASD will take you between those three tabs.
Okay.
And then you'll notice he's a green check mark for our offer alliance. We'll accept the alliance. Now, if we wanted to min-max, again, we could improve relations with him for a while. When you improve relations with the target, you get better improved relations the closer their opinion is to 0. So if they're neutral, your diplomat is better than if they really like you. When you establish an alliance, we're going to gain plus 50 opinion with this nation. So it's going to raise their opinion of us, which takes us further from 0, which makes our diplomat less effective in the future. But we don't really care what they think about us. We're just going to use them for a few years to hopefully make one of our future wars easier.
Okay. So I'm going to confirm the alliance offer?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay.
All right, and we got to wait 1 day for that interaction to be accepted. So Desmond has accepted our military alliance. We have our first ally. Yay. Now, if we go and we look at, say, another nation, like, say, Thomond, they are still willing to accept an alliance. Sligo is still willing to accept the alliance. But now, if we look at the... let's see, is there someone who used to accept but wouldn't now? Look at Kildare, or... Yeah, Kildare is a good option. Now, when you look at their reasons for acceptance, it says Scotland is allied to a Kildarian rival Desmond. So because we've allied their rival, they're not willing to ally us now.
Okay.
So that's that balance of powers we kind of talked about before. So really, let's just pick 3 little one-province miners, and we'll keep 1 slot open for France. Possibly only use 2 relations for these little one-province miners and save another slot for Castile, but Castile's a long ways off. We're not going to be able to ally them very easily. Let's wait till our diplomat gets back, and then you can go ahead and pick whoever you want. Either Limerick...
I'd actually prefer you just chose 2.
Okay, that's fine. We'll go for you.
I feel like if I was playing this on my own right now, and we were after we talked about that, I'd spend like 20 minutes like looking at all their like the web of that and trying to figure out which would be best. So like let's move on.
Yeah, I understand completely. All right, so we've just allied Thomond, which pisses off Sligo, and the only other person we could choose now is Clanricarde. That's Sir Tyrone. He has set Tyrone as vital interest, but we're gonna go ahead and ally him too. Now the thing about one province miners is that they're really weak. But they all have like 4 to 6 troops. They have 4 troops like all the time, and they can actually train up to like 7 or so usually. So if you have a whole bunch of one province miners on your side in a war, they can be easy to underestimate. Suddenly, 3 one province miners will provide you with 20,000 troops, which is way more than we have, and pretty scary. Okay, see these new alerts at the top of the screen?
Yeah, they're flaming.
These guys are asking us to marry them. Because we're a Catholic nation, we're allowed to do royal marriages with other Catholics, which basically secures our relationship with them and says, hey, we're going to be friends for a long time. It costs you legitimacy to accept, depending on their legitimacy relative to your legitimacy, their prestige relative to your prestige, and it gives you some benefits from having the royal marriage. Improves your yearly legitimacy, your ability to improve relations over time, and it also increases the chance you get an heir, which is a baby, someone that's going to play your country after your current ruler dies. The problem with doing a royal marriage with these guys is that it basically says that's a long-term relationship, and we don't necessarily want a long-term relationship with one province miners.
Yeah.
So we're going to decline these offers because we don't want to be...
Do we lose any if we decline to piss them off at all?
Nope. We're just casually, just saying, no, not interested, sorry.
Not interested.
We can always reverse our opinion or reverse our stance on that and offer our oral marriage to them, and they'll accept. But by keeping our options open, we could drop these alliances at the drop of a hat, free up relationship slots, and pick up some bigger fish like France or Castile.
Nice.
So that's our goal. France, by the way, is at negative 27 reasons for acceptance. If we weren't playing on hard mode, they'd already be at negative 7. So we're close to getting an alliance with France. And we need to go ahead and go back to improving relations with Castile now. So we'll go ahead and do that.
Sign that.
Yep, just did that.
Okay, so you pulled it back because you were considering making it essentially more effective to use in the two that we ended up allying, Desmond and what was the other one?
No, I pulled the diplomat back from Castile because we needed to have a diplomat to even do the alliance offer.
Oh, it just had to be like back at our capital to do that?
Yeah,
back home?
Yep, we had to have a diplomat free to do the interaction.
Got it.
So I chose, of the 3 we were doing, the one that was the most important to me is the French improved relations. The secondary was probably fabricating on England, just because we want to be able to, have better siege strength and stuff against them. And so Castile was the lowest priority diplomat, so he came home. All right, so basically, this hard mode thing is going to make it a whole lot harder for us to get this alliance. We might have to do some squirrely stuff here, like train up to our force limit ahead of schedule, just to make our army more appealing to France.
Good.
But we might have to go into debt to do that. How's that sound?
Yeah, I mean, if you taught me anything, it's so far it's play greedy all the time for everything.
Now we did forget to do one thing here, which is that in order to actually attack somebody, we actually do need to build up a spy network and fabricate a claim. We got free claims against England, but we're not going to get any claims against Tyrone. So let's. I pulled the diplomat back from Castile again.
Okay. So we gotta wait for it. I'll know it's arrived because I'll have 0 of 1 diplomats, right?
Yes, it'll say 1 out of 3. And in the top right corner, you can actually see how long he'll be. See how it says diplomats? We got France 1 day, and then 1383. He'll be back in 1 day. Okay. So now he's free. Top of the map, you see 1 out of 3 diplomats is free.
Okay. So let me try doing this. So I click on Tyrone.
Right-click on Tyrone to select them diplomatically, and then go down to Build Spy Network.
Build Spy Network. Okay.
And it'll take us a little while to get that going, but once we get to 20 spy network strength, we can fabricate a claim, and then we can go beat them up.
Okay. And I can monitor the spy network strength with them by doing what? In
the outliner, top right corner, you can see the current value, 0.00.
Okay.
Or again, you could right-click on them, and you could see it in that top right thing with the guy with the pirate eye, the patch.
Yep.
So we're currently earning 1.45 every month. It's going to take us, 20 divided by 1.45 months to earn enough. And that'll be what we wait for then. That'll probably be our first war, and hopefully we end up getting strong enough that we can get the alliance with France soon.
Do we need to do things like move our troops a little bit closer or bring our troops' morale back up, or just not worried about it quite yet?
Not yet. We can get our morale up to full in about 4 months. And
just numbers Yeah,
we can move closer. Yeah, they're at 0.5 morale. Our maximum morale is like 3, and they'll recover 20.8% each month. You can see all of this if you hover over the morale bar on the army.
Got it.
So since they're at 0.51 out of like 3, that's like 16%. 4 months would take them up to about what would it be? 96% morale. Generally, 4 months is a pretty good metric to go by. If you have any modifiers that increase morale recovery speed, oh my god. Okay, did you get the pop-up about Poland?
Yeah.
There's a historical event that can happen where Poland will form a personal union over Lithuania, and it makes them basically in charge of both countries. Poland is very, very strong when they take that. They have a 25% chance to appoint a local noble instead, which is where they just say, nah, I don't want to be in charge of Lithuania. It's too much work. So they just gave up all of Lithuania for no reason at all, because the AI is stupid. 25% chance, and it happened. So Poland's going to get wrecked this game. It's pretty interesting for us.
That's funny.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and speed 3 then while we wait for this claim, and we'll gear up for our first war here in a little bit. For now, we do have to take a break, but next episode we'll go into our first war.
See you guys soon.
See you in a bit.